performance to start. Obviously, broke out pretty good there on Friday against Mississippi State and kind of stagnating today. It looked much more complete. What did you think of that?
I didn't think so, to be perfectly honest. I thought our approach was terrible. Yeah, we put up a 6 spot, great, but we went flat after that. I think we put together 2 good innings there, 4th and 5th inning, and then it's like we pulled the ripcord and decided that's enough. We took the lead, we got a 1-run lead, and that was enough. There's not enough killer instinct right now with these guys to finish the job. So we go right back to rolling over soft stuff and not staying hard up the middle. We got to get a lot better.
Did you feel like a day like today, the wind was blowing out all day, kind of towards left center, that even when you guys were down 7, that there was more fireworks in the agenda?
I was hoping so. I hope at some point we were going to wake up and decide we have a baseball game today to play. At the end of the day, we did just enough to win, and for that I guess I'm grateful for, but we talked several times prior to the game that this is a game where you have to come with energy. There's not going to be a big crowd. It's a day game. It feels like an inter-squad. Mississippi State's over with, and right now North Dakota State is coming in, and this is a big game for them, and you got to show up and be ready to play. And in my opinion, we didn't do that. We got lucky. We were fortunate enough to come away with a win, which is great. I'll never not celebrate, I guess, a win, but I'll celebrate it the least amount possible.
I saw Will Rogers turn around to you after he hit that as you guys were walking back in and said, "Thank you, Willie." What did you tell him before he went out?
He whistled at me and said, "Coach, you think I should sit breaking ball?" And I said, "Yes, just make sure it's up." And he sat breaking ball and didn't miss it. So, hallelujah. That's I'm glad he ran into that, because I'm not sure what would have happened if we went extras.
Hansel obviously looked a little bit better in terms of velocity today, but kind of hung around the plate or in the middle of the zone. It seemed like a little too much. Are there things with him that he needs to clean up in particular, you feel like, or is it something that he needs to focus more on just kind of locating?
I think with him the biggest thing is just conviction, and believing what he's throwing and continuing to attack hitters. He didn't walk anybody, which was good. But a couple of those balls were, we had a pretty good wind screaming out there, so that they weren't terrible pitches. They just kind of got up in that jet stream and went out of the ballpark. But the location could have been better. I think he could have located a little bit better. All in all, like I said, it was everybody's intensity was down significantly today. We can make excuses and say it's understandable. It's a midweek game coming off that series that we just did. But if we want to be the team we want to be, we got to be better.
Can we just get your overall thoughts on the weekend series in Starkville? Obviously started off great and probably a pretty disappointing finish. What do you think of the weekend as a whole?
We played well at times. Obviously Friday we came out swinging, but we didn't finish the job on that game. We kind of gave them life toward the end of that game, which carried over the next day. At the end of the day, my biggest takeaway is we got out of it what we wanted to as far as the experience. Just unbelievable first-class fans down there that were tough on us, but at the end of the day, they feed you after the game. They do it right. Man, I wish we could build something like that here. That would be a tremendous win for the program if we could even create a fraction of that environment here. They just do a tremendous job down there. So we were grateful to go down and compete with them. But we took a lot out of that too. We got a lot of great experience. We got exposed to a tough environment. We got exposed to a good team, and we know we're going to have to get better. But I think we also believe that respectfully, we thought we were better than they were. We come away with only 1 win, but what's the turning point of those games? It's all the stuff that we preach upon: staying away from the big inning, not walking guys, not getting ourselves in that type of hole is what ultimately did us in down there. So in those 2 games. But at the end of the day, great experience. A lot of guys got to get into the game down there, and we came away with that. if we can learn from that, we can come away from that a much better team.
You talk about improved intensity, especially going into this weekend against Irvine, which they've been off to a really hot start. What needs to happen over the next couple days leading into that series in order for you to feel like things are going to kind of go better?
Well, I think hopefully we will come out with better intensity against Irvine. They're rolling right now. They got a good team. They can pitch it. They can swing it better than last year. We know we have our work cut out for us against them. But I would like to see, from an offensive standpoint, a much better offensive approach than we've shown, and continuing to, we didn't strike out as much today, which was better, but it's still not to where, some of the swings that we took early in the count were just giving outs away. I thought. So, we got to do a better job of that type of thing from an offensive standpoint. Defensively, we're playing okay. Could be better in some areas, but, and then on the mound, just keep attacking the zone and not beating ourselves. Again, I guess we only walked one hitter today, which wasn't bad. But at the end of the day, we do need to do a little bit better job of locating and working ahead.
Isaiah looked a lot more like himself today after a pretty ugly weekend. Did you have a talk with him or at all over the last few days, or just kind of just let it sort itself out?
No, we talked and broke a few things down and mentally and physically, mechanically a little bit. And usually when a guy has a tough weekend like that, you don't really want to jump to mechanics too quickly, because it's best hitting coaches I ever had. So you're swinging at strikes and you have a clear head, and I don't think he can answer yes to both of those. Right. And so we had to try to get that put behind us, but there was a couple little mechanical tweaks that we needed to do with him as well. He looked certainly much more comfortable today. Took him much better at bats today. So we need him to do what he's capable of doing. Special player when he's right.
What do you think of Blake Pivarov? Looks really, really sharp to start the year. What did you think of him today, and just how he's kind of molded into that full-time pitcher role?
Piv's done an outstanding job all year so far. I think there's a couple times early I might have misused him, and I kind of rolled the dice a little bit again today with bringing him out for the second inning of work, but it was a quicker offensive inning on our part today, which is I felt comfortable running him out there against the kind of the meat of their lineup in his second inning of work. He's done outstanding. He comes out and he's usually pretty locked in when he gets out there. So out of all the performances on the mound today, I'll take him as probably the top one.
Thanks, Coach.